Good afternoon, guys. It's Janelle and My Chalk Habit. I am going to work on a project today a little earlier than usual. I'm usually an evening girl, but I'm trying to get into some routines and looking for a little variety to make sure that I'm hitting a time frame where some different people can check in. But I wanted to try an earlier afternoon and just see what happens. Hey Kayla, you're on time, I'm on time, we're all on time. So let's get started. I'm going to work with something I've never done before. So we're gonna create something new together. And we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it is a winner. Hopefully I hit it out of the ballpark. We'll see what happens. I think it's gonna be really cute. But I do have some paint that's fairly fresh. So my only concern is that my paint is dry, but maybe not as cured as I would like. Here's the thing, they're gonna stack, so it's probably not going to be a big deal. So here's what I did. I went to the cheapest location I could find and found some hardback books and painted them with chalk paint. That's my start. Now I'm gonna try and make them look a little old, so I'm going to also add a little dirt. I'm gonna add a little grunge. This is called Dixie Dirt. I've seen some where they go ahead and they sand around the edges a little bit, and that reveals the color that's underneath. And these books were all different colors before I painted them, so they're gonna have a really unique look. And I think I'm just gonna try that once on the back of a book, just to see if it's where I wanna go. And I don't know if it's my sand block, because it's a really fine grit. Yes, Dixie Dirt, that's what it's called. Pretty funny. Well, the company is called Dixie Belle, and that's where I get my paints that I use, not for any other reason other than I really like the name Dixie Belle. I think it's really cute. And it's chalk paint, and I saw a video once and I was like, oh, that's really pretty, but they were using them to refinish furniture and antique furniture. So, but it's come in really handy, and I love how fast it dries, and how smooth it dries, generally speaking, and it gets a pretty thorough coat in just one coat. Like I haven't had to go back over them. So, all that to be said, Dixie Belle, Dixie Dirt. It's kind of fun to say, right? So what I'm gonna do is just age these books a little bit. Actually, I know what else I was gonna do. I'm going to take some ink and do a little distressing on the edges, the pages that are showing. I'm not excited about, they put a dot on these. I don't know why. Maybe because it was bargain basement, and I don't know, there was something wrong with it, and so it got kicked out to the bargain basement. I have no idea, but I will take it. So I'm gonna use these awesome little blending brushes that I got somewhere. from somebody who's watching. And I'm gonna give this a little brush in here. I've seen people use tea to make things look old, stained. I actually grabbed some lace and it's really, really white. So I don't know if I'm going to use it or if I'm going to set it aside and hope maybe on another project I can go ahead and stain it with some tea to give it a little more aging. We'll see how this goes. This may be the only time I do this, but hopefully it'll be cute, and I'll want to do it again. These brushes are kind of fun. So now I'm working quiet again. I get absorbed in what I'm doing and I forget to chalk. Let's see. So all of this, let me give you the scope, the big picture here. The big picture is I'm going to pick one of the books to be on top, and I think it's going to be this guy because I like this gray color. I think that's really pretty. Then I have the gray. I have this color that's kind of a bone color. And then I've got my pretty tea rose color. And because it's the biggest, that one's probably going to have to go on the bottom. So I have to decide, do I want the bone color on top or the gray? And I'm leaning towards gray. And then once I stack them, they're going to get wrapped together with some jute to make them kind of like a little packet. And I imagine that they'll be a really cute functioning as a bookend on a bookshelf. They could just be a set around, could sit on a end table. I'm going to do my chalking. You're probably wondering, where's the chalking going to come into play here? Well, let me tell you. The book that's on top is going to get some chalk on top, but everything else is not even going to show, so I'm not going to put chalk anywhere else on a cover. The other chalking that I do will be on the spine. So in getting ready for this, I had to look around and see, what do I have that's small enough to put on the spine of a book? And that was a little bit of a challenge. I had a package that's coming, or supposed to be coming today, and I was really hoping it would get here before I started my video, because it had some one of our A-size transfers that has, I think, welcome, maybe might have been hope, family, together, or something like that. I don't know. It was 3 words, but they were on an A size, so they were small, like this, maybe maybe a little bigger. I don't know, because I haven't seen them yet. I wonder, I'm gonna try something really quick. I got some paint on the edge of this book, and maybe, ha, that is exactly how I pictured that going. Yay me! Perfect. There's still a little bit there, but nothing to worry about. I know, right? I was really excited about it, and I was actually going to put this project off until Friday. However, I have my Home of the Brave transfer that you got. I got one of those too. So that's perfect for 4th of July, and we're approaching the 4th of July really quickly, right? So I thought since that was coming, hey Lynn Rich, since that was coming, I would go ahead and do this today and get it out of the way and do my 4th of July stuff on Friday. And that would give me plenty of time to get prepared for that. I found the cutest firecracker cutouts. Well, they're not really cutouts, they're blocks. And they're 4, 6, and 8 inches tall. And they only had one set left, but I snatched them up and put them in my cart. And hopefully they won't come back and say, oh, we couldn't find that. I don't know if you've ever had that happen, but it really annoys me. That's saying it nicely. It really makes me annoyed when I've purchased something online to go pick up at the store and they're like, we couldn't find it. Our system was wrong. So their system was showing one set of firecrackers, and I was super excited about that, put it in my cart and checked out to go get it. And hopefully I'll do that tomorrow and they will actually have it ready for me. So on Friday, firecrackers with the Home of the Brave transfer. I'm really excited about that because that transfer is super cute. It's going to be great for 4th of July and for like Memorial Day, all of those patriotic kind of holidays. So it's going to be really fun. Now, so back to this. I am going to take my Dixie dirt. I set it aside already. Take my Dixie dirt and I'm going to just give the corners, and especially on this one because the edges are going to hang out, give this a little bit of character, and on the spine. So I'm going to use a little bit of wax, and I'm going to go ahead and spray it on my brush, for better or worse. I don't know if that's the right thing to do, but that's what I'm going to do. Normally, if I were working with wood, I would go ahead and spray it on the surface and do it that way. I did use my wax on these earlier, and hopefully that's already dry. So this is just trying to get just enough dirt to give those edges just a little bit of the old look to them. I see you, Miss Lynn. How's your summer going? I hope it's going well for you. relaxing. I don't know if you can tell yet or not, just that little bit of dirt gives that edge a little character. And thinking about like the edges where dirt would settle if this had been on a shelf for a long time, if that makes sense. So along the edges, corners, I feel like this top edge more than in the crease would be dirtier, would have a little more weathering. But it's super subtle, but I'm not gonna go crazy because a lot of it's not gonna show. I really wish that that I could use this surface because I love this color. I love this tea rose. I think it's so pretty. So pretty. Okay, so let's work on the spine here a little bit. I feel like I'm putting makeup on the book, not on me, on the book. And I realize that you guys probably can't see this part as well as I can, because it's very subtle. I'm also trying just to get like the edges and on the spine, not where I'm going to try and do my transfer work, because I'm not gonna wait to dry this and I'm not gonna seal it before I do that. All the sealing and stuff like that I'll do afterwards. Got a little carryover from one of the other colors on the back there. Okay. Cutting and labeling transfers. You know where I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but when I've watched other people do videos with their transfers, they'll write back on the back, or they'll put an X on the backing, just so that they can keep track of which side is the back. Well, I am all about right now putting the title, maybe putting the title, but for sure, like this is for sure, numbering the pieces if it's a multi-piece kit, and putting the numbers in the same corners. So I have a 4 here, and on the very same position I have a 4 here. So once I've used this and washed it, when I go to put it back on the backing, I can match those 2 corners up exactly, because I've found that for me anyway, it's not enough to just to just have to know which piece is the back, if that makes sense. That is my pro tip for today. You're welcome. Okay. All right. Next. That side is a little rougher. This is the side I'm going to work on, and I'm not going to spend a lot of, in fact, I think I'm only going to do the spine on this one. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. I feel like sometimes when I'm using this dirt, I wind up with more other places than where I really intended it to be. That's okay. It's all good. So if I were working with this on wood, I could take a cloth and then just kind of wipe back to the coverage that I really want. And I probably could do that too on here. Hey Heather, how are you, dearie? Hope you're having a good day. Thanks for joining. Let's see. So here's what I like about this. It's kind of a love-hate thing, actually. The top book has a little more weathering. When I went to paint it the first time, I actually painted it bone first, and then thought, you know what, that's kind of boring to have two books that are the same color. And my husband was quick to point out that when you see books on a bookshelf, they're not all the same color. So thank you, honey. That was your advice. And so I went back and painted over it, and now it's gray, and it's so pretty. I'm glad I did it. Sometimes he gives good advice. He tries really hard. He's a good crafting husband. feel like I was going somewhere. Oh, so the one side, so there's a lot more weathering on this, and I think you can look at it two different ways. You can look at it as maybe I should hide that side because it's less than perfect, but the other side of that coin is I feel like that actually lends to the idea of it being weathered and old. So that's what I'm going with, is that it's going to make it look more weathered and old. Okay, I'm gonna do the top of this, and then I'm gonna be done with this little part of the project. If you are watching and you have done a project like this before and you have a bit of advice, feel free to share. This is my first time painting books. And I am in that spot where it was weathered. I'm gonna get right on that with this dirt. And work with that. Once I've done my chalking on this, I will go ahead and seal it. Put a spray on it just to give it a little bit more protection for the chalk. Okie dokie. Okay, I'm ready for my next step. Ready to do some actual chalking. Alright, so I've got some choices. I've got some things that I picked up really quick and thought that I might use for this project. One of those things is borders. I thought these might be cute on the edge of the book along with the words, or maybe even instead of words. I was thinking maybe the middle book would just have a border on it instead of trying to put a word on it. I'm still thinking about that. So I've got some choices. I've got this transfer that's I'm Dreaming of a Farmhouse Christmas. I think this was a Club Couture. I think this was a Club Couture in the winter. And I saw the word dream and I thought I can take the word dream and use that. It's really small, but I feel like it's the exact right size for the book spine. So I thought that would be a good one. I grabbed up this guy, Love You Dearly. I like the way this font is, and I felt like love is a really good size for one of these books. It's so funny. I thought these were exactly the same size, but the bone one is just a little bit bigger. But it's still, I think, too small for that love. However, I've got another little piece that I think is going to be perfect. So we'll do that one. So dream, love, and then I've got my big one. So I've got a lot more options for that since the edge is bigger. And I grabbed Be Bold, Be Brave, and I thought maybe the Be Brave. And it is like, it's just perfect, like just barely fits on the edge of that book. So those are my ideas. That's what I'm kind of going with right now. Dream, love, and be brave. I could also go with, I thought on top maybe I would use some of my pieces from my homespun tags kit, and that's where it's got a lot of little things, like, so it's got home, gather, and hello, and I thought maybe on the cover of the book that's on top I could use some of those pieces. So let's start with the bottom and go ahead and get this little guy out of the way. So this transfer, this A-size transfer, is one that comes in our Try Me kits and is also sold separately. I love it. I love anything that has lots of words that I can use in different ways. That's not terribly sticky, so I'm gonna go ahead and not fuzz it. I'm not sure there's a wrong way to do this. This is kind of a make it up as you go project. So on top of that, I think I'm gonna use bark, a brown, I think would look really good on top of that. It needs a little love, so I'm gonna spray this up, give it a little mix. I wish, you know what transfer I wish I had was the Keep Life Simple transfer. It's, I think it's a B size, but I've seen that on the front of a stack of books like this and it was really cute. I don't have it, but it's okay. Gotta work with what you got, right? Maybe next time, next set of books I do. check that, make sure I got everything. A spot down there. I think that looks good. It's beautiful. So perfect. That's exactly what I was looking for. Oh my goodness, that was exactly what I was looking for. I love it when a plan comes together. Okay, let's see. Actually, I'm gonna take this and dump it in some water over here real quick. Not that water, it's black. From the last transfer I had. Okie dokie. Every time I grab a pan of water, I think, I hope my dog doesn't come up and drink out of my transfer cleaning water, because she's a dope and she would totally do that. Okay. My hands are wet. Okay. Setting that one aside. It's beautiful. It's perfect. So perfect. I'm very pleased. Okay. Let's do, I'm going to cut this part really quick. And we're going to, I think I'm going to use Cherry Blossom. Or Fig. Fig is nice. And I'm gonna grab this border right here and do just part of it. I've got some washi tape, and I'm gonna grab that washi tape and throw it onto the spots that I need to stop at. Ooh, I think in the order that I was supposed to get today, my transfer trimmers are in it. I am so excited. I can't tell you how excited I am about that order. So excited. Transfer trimmers, spray mist bottle, so I don't have to keep using this one. Not that there's really anything wrong with that one, but fine mist spray. Like, I'm just so excited. Okay. Going with this one. And since this piece is brand new, I need to write on it for starters. Grab my marker. And I put this newspaper down for a couple reasons. I was actually gonna paint a tag, but I've decided not to do that. It just seemed like just too much. It was too much for me. Go ahead and mark this guy. I'm also gonna fuzz it since it's brand new. hasn't been used before. I think this one is going to be this guy. So I want to make sure I leave enough room. Enough room in the center, and I'll probably have to do a little bit of drying on this one to be able to do everything I want to do on it. So I think I'm gonna do 2 on each end, and I'm gonna use my washi tape just to kind of section out. Keep myself from running over. I mean, that looks gonna go with it. Well, it might be a really close fit, but I'm just gonna run with it. Just trying to get the tiniest bit on here. That's not a very big space. I'm trying to ink. Did it. I just made a mistake, but that's okay. I forgot that there's actually more on the end than what I really needed. Okay. This is working out really well, you guys. I'm really happy. very pleased so far. Get this a little dry. Give that a little dry. I could have centered that more. Actually afraid I'd run out of room, but now I can tell. Like I couldn't tell before, but now I can tell. I have plenty of room. Plenty of room. Now, here's the trick. Getting this evenly lined up. What's really cool is I have the light from above is shining through the transfer, and that's actually helping me kind of line that up, hopefully. It looks like it's helping me line it up. Close enough, close enough. Okie dokie. Put this one away. there's that one. So like there's a little bit of space down here that I feel like I could go back and add a little bit more of that border maybe, but that transfer's wet. So if I do that, I've got to clean it up first before I could do that. And I won't hold you guys. In order for me to do that, I mean, it's fine. It looks fine. It's good the way it is. It's just me being particular. Okay, now since that one was a little bit of a struggle, I'm going to go ahead and do the word on this one first. Let's check this out. It says eucalyptus green. Hopefully it's dark enough. You know what? I think I'm gonna use, no, I'm gonna use this. This is good. This is good. Maybe I'm gonna do a border on this one too, and maybe I'll do the border in a different color, but I think I'm gonna stick with the green for the word. And yeah, trying to do that on the spine of the book, it is a little fussy. It's like fussy cutting in scrapbooking. You know what? You guys, so this transfer has a little bit of a border on it, and I might just capitalize on that and go ahead and use that. Maybe. Okay. Washi tape so I don't go further than I need to. So Couture sells placement tape, and maybe someday I'll get some of that, but this, in the meantime, works really well. So I'm not in a hurry to pick up placement tape. I might be missing out. It might be just completely awesome, but this is working just fine. Okay. Did. I think it's really light. I don't know if you can even see that. Barely see it. So I think I am gonna grab up that darker green really quick. Dry this, place my transfer back over top, and hit it again with that darker color. I used a color the other night, a green the other night, and I really liked the way it looked. It is Meadow. I just gotta lay my hands on it because I used it last night. There you are. All the way to the bottom. Go figure. Red. I think I'm gonna stick with green. No offense. I like the idea of the green. Maybe we'll put some red on the cover though. That might be. And that was so light, I can't even, this may be a no-go because I can't even see where those letters even are to realign this. Like I got nothing. That's unfortunate. Because I don't want to. I don't want it to be. Usually you can. Ooh. Usually you can see those edges, but I can't see. You know what? Let's try. Okay. It's a good thing I cleaned squeegees today. Plenty of squeegees for plenty of colors. And I just used this green last night, so I know it's nice and creamy and ready to go. Better. And it's going to dry just slightly darker, so I think that'll work. Okay. It's okay that it's a little faded because these are old books, right? I'm not even gonna stress about things that don't come out perfect on that, because it's intended to look old, it's intended to look weathered, and getting exactly what I'm after, old and weathered. Okie dokie. Now, so I've got my sides all set. One more transfer to get over here in the water. And I think I'm going to place this centered. Almost done, almost done, almost done, getting there. Where's my fan? So I've got just a couple more pieces. I'm going to do this little wreath around this spot here, and then I need to pick something to go over top of that, and I think I'm gonna do home because it's small and it's gonna fit inside that wreath really well, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna call it a wreath. So why am I doing this? I have heard that when you are layering your transfers, your paint needs to be dry and needs to be back to room temperature. So because I'm using an embossing tool, it's really heating that up, and I want to make sure that that has cooled down a little bit before I put something over top of it. I really got that warm. Almost there, almost there, almost there. I did not intend for this to take so long, and I actually wanted to do some of that prep work ahead of time, and it just didn't quite happen. I wonder, this little thing in the middle is almost more of an oval than a circle. It's kind of weird. Didn't quite stick the way I wanted it to. It's okay. Weathered, old. It's all good, all good. Yeah, Kayla, I'm not sure. I don't remember where I heard that. If I heard that from my sponsor or if I heard that on just another place. But I'm tending to believe that. Look, it didn't quite stick as well as I thought it would. It was still a little warm, but it didn't take, like my green just didn't stick. It wasn't that it peeled up the other color. So I don't know. I'm not sure. Now, if I wanted to, I could try and cover a little bit of that up by using a transfer that's larger, although I would have to go that way and that might look weird. And this hello is a little bit bigger, but it's still not necessarily gonna go. It's really thin too, so I don't know that it's gonna accomplish what I think it's gonna accomplish. So I think maybe I'll just go with the sky. We'll just go with the sky. You know what could have happened too with that green is I was reusing a color that I'd already used, a squeegee I'd already used, so it might have had a little bit of dry residue that stuck a little bit. Maybe, I don't know, that's speculation. Okay, that is really cute. So, last step, let me push some of this excess out of the way. And the last thing I'm going to do is put these books together. Turn these your direction so you can kind of see how that turned out. Cute. And where'd it go? I had some glue, some wood glue, and I don't know where it went. So this is, I'm going to do this up kind of temporary. I'm going to pull all this off. Just pulled all of that off because I'm going to wrap this a couple of times. And I think I'm just going to wrap it at the top. I decided to use books for this, but I have seen this same concept done with wood blocks, and I think that would be really cute too. And I might even do with this jute, I might even do a wrap at the top and a wrap at the bottom, but I'm just going to do the top so you guys can kind of get the gist of it. And oh, I forgot what I was gonna, so I've got this cute little tag and I was gonna stick that in there too, and then call this little guy done. Okay, all right, there's the side, and there's the front. Now I'm going to glue the books together so that they aren't wiggly, but just think, this on a shelf as kind of a set of a bookend, keep some books in place, or sat on an end table like this, so you can see the top. You can see the little frou-frou on the top, and you can see the title side, the spines. I think that's really cute. I think that turned out really well. So, feel free to give me your thoughts in the comments, and any ideas you've had if you've got a transfer or you've got a something that you would like to see. I had a thought, like I don't have any we've got a font handwritten. If I had that font, I could put just about anything on the spine of these books that I wanted to. I could do you know, when a couple is married. I could do when a baby is born. I could really customize this. So this would be an idea for a project for a wedding gift. It could just be a new home welcome gift. There are lots of things that you could do with this that would be really cute. But I love how this turned out. So I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I'll probably just do a little bit of finishing, do a little bit of gluing, and then this will be good to go. And maybe get sold or take it to a craft fair sometime in the future. So that being said, I finally made it a little bit longer than I wanted to be today. Sorry about that. I hope you enjoyed it. You'll have a good evening. Bye guys.